The moment we hear the name Saudi Arabia, the only images that come to mind are endless deserts, oil wells, and Mecca and Medina. But did you know that this very country is home to cities that are more than 2,000 years old and still stand strong among the rocks? In this dry desert country, there are also mountains that become completely green during the rainy season. One of the largest deserts in the world is the Rub al-Khali Desert, known as the Empty Quarter. Because while traveling through it, you may go for days without seeing a single person or even a wild animal. And on this very land, a futuristic city is being built that could redefine what the world considers a modern city in the years to come. This is the country where Islam was born. Every year, not just millions, but tens of millions of pilgrims from every corner of the world travel to Mecca and Medina. And it is also home to one of the world's largest oil reserves. But the most interesting thing is that today, this very country is moving beyond oil and making such rapid progress in other sectors that even Europe and America are surprised. The world still sees Saudi Arabia the same way it did perhaps 30 or 40 years ago. But the truth is, this country is changing so rapidly that if you visit here today, your perception may completely change. So, what is Saudi Arabia really like? Is it just a story of oil, deserts, and religion? Or is there a hidden world behind it that most people still know nothing about? And why is it called home to some of the world's most beautiful natural wonders? We'll find out in this exciting documentary about one of the Middle East's most mysterious, powerful, and rapidly growing countries, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, beyond the desert. Located in the heart of the Middle East, Saudi Arabia is the largest country on the Arabian Peninsula, spanning approximately 2.15 million square kilometers. This vast country stretches from the Red Sea in the west to the Persian Gulf in the east. To the north are Jordan, Iraq, and Kuwait, while Yemen and Oman lie to the south. For thousands of years, merchants, travelers, and caravans moving between Asia, Africa, and Europe have passed through this region. That is why Saudi Arabia is not just a country, but a significant center that has connected different civilizations, cultures, and trade routes for centuries. But if you look at this country from a satellite, at first glance it may seem like there is nothing here but sand. That's because a large part of Saudi Arabia is covered by deserts. But this is also one of the biggest misconceptions about the country. Because on this very land, thousands of years old trading cities still stand safely among the rocks. In some places, vast oases have brought life to the middle of the desert. Elsewhere, there are fields of black rocks formed by volcanic activity, while in some areas, green mountains become covered with clouds during the rainy season. In other words, as uniform as this country may appear from the outside, it is filled with remarkably different landscapes on the inside. Today, Saudi Arabia has a population of around 35 million, and its capital, Riyadh, is the largest city in the country. The official language here is Arabic, and the Saudi riyal is its currency. Interestingly, Saudi Arabia is one of the few countries in the world where absolute monarchy, meaning a system of absolute rule by the monarchy, is still in place today. The country is governed by the House of Saud, which laid the foundation of modern Saudi Arabia. But at the same time, this country holds immense importance for Muslims around the world. Because the two holiest cities in Islam, Mecca and Medina, are also located here. And every year, tens of millions of pilgrims from around the world come here. That is why Saudi Arabia is not only a powerful country in the Middle East, but is also considered the spiritual center of the entire Islamic world. However, Over the past few years, this country has been changing rapidly. Billions of dollars are being invested in new technology, mega projects, tourism, and the entertainment industry. But despite becoming modern at such a rapid pace, Saudi Arabia has continued to preserve its traditions, culture, and religious values. So, let's now begin our travel journey through Saudi Arabia, starting with its capital city, Riyadh. Riyadh, the new face of Saudi Arabia. Riyadh was once a small desert city where camel caravans would stop and mud-built forts were its defining landmarks. But today, this very city is considered one of the fastest-changing metropolitan cities in the Middle East. Over the past few decades, the city has experienced such rapid growth that its skyline continues to transform. Glass skyscrapers stretching into the distance, wide multi-lane roads, a modern metro system, and boulevards illuminated with lights after sunset give this city a futuristic feel. When you explore Riyadh, you'll notice something fascinating: the blend of old and new Saudi Arabia. On one side, there are centuries-old mud forts, while on the other are modern landmarks such as the Kingdom Center and King Abdullah Financial District. As evening arrives, thousands of people can be seen enjoying their lives here. Street-side cafes, live music, art installations, luxury stores, and restaurants from around the world light up the entire area. If you want to see Riyadh from above, there may hardly be a better place than the Kingdom Center Sky Bridge. From a height of around 300 meters, the entire city stretches out into the distance. The golden desert during the day and Riyadh glowing with millions of lights at night offer two completely different experiences. Diriyah, where Saudi Arabia was born. But if you want to see where modern Saudi Arabia began, you'll have to travel about 20 kilometers from Riyadh. This is Diriyah, known as the birthplace of modern Saudi Arabia. Founded around 600 years ago, this city was once a small oasis town. But in the 18th century, the House of Saud established its first state here. Gradually, this small town became the center of an empire that would eventually go on to unite the entire country of Saudi Arabia. That's why if Riyadh is the heart of the country today, Diriyah is its heartbeat. The most remarkable place in Diriyah is the At-Turaif district. Walking through it feels as if you've traveled about 300 years back in time. Everywhere you look, there are palaces made of mud bricks, narrow streets, old courtyards, and towering walls. Every building tells the story of an era when things like electricity, cars, and skyscrapers were nothing more than a dream. That is why UNESCO has designated it a World Heritage Site. And now, let's head about 100 kilometers from Riyadh to a place where, upon arriving, it feels as if the earth suddenly comes to an end. Journey to edge of the world. In every direction, all you can see is desert stretching into the distance. Small herds of camels can be spotted here and there, and for several kilometers you may hardly see a single person. But then, suddenly, a breathtaking view appears in front of you, one that makes every first-time visitor stop in their tracks for a few seconds. You have arrived at the edge of the world. These massive cliffs, rising around 300 meters high, drop straight down. When you stand at the top and look ahead, all you can see is a flat desert stretching far into the distance. No city, no buildings, no trees, just land extending all the way to the horizon. That is why this place is called the edge of the world. Because standing here genuinely feels as if the earth comes to an end right at this point. But millions of years ago, this place looked completely different. Scientists believe that where this vast desert stretches today, there was once an ancient sea. That is why fossils of marine creatures have still been found in these cliffs. In other words, where you see a desert today, waves once crashed against these very rocks. If you arrive here around sunset, the view becomes even more spectacular. As the sun slowly disappears, it paints the entire desert in shades of gold and orange. At that moment, the strong winds and the silence all around create a feeling that is almost impossible to fully capture on camera. But our destination is still farther ahead, because now we are heading to a place that people call Saudi Arabia's most beautiful travel destination. Alula, Saudi Arabia's greatest surprise. After a journey of around 5 to 6 hours, we arrive in Alula. If no one had told you beforehand that you were in Saudi Arabia, you might not even believe your own eyes. Surrounded by massive sandstone mountains, narrow valleys, thousands of years old date palms, and golden-colored rock formations, this oasis looks no less than a Hollywood movie set. But Alula is not just beautiful, it is also filled with history. Thousands of years ago, it was an important stop along ancient trade routes. Merchants traveling between Asia, Africa, and Europe would stop here. That is why the influence of different civilizations can still be seen here today. The strangely shaped rock formations, deep valleys, and ancient settlements spread across the region make it one of the world's most unique desert landscapes. Today, Alula has become one of Saudi Arabia's fastest-growing tourism destinations. People from around the world come here to enjoy luxury resorts, hot air balloon rides, desert camping, stargazing, and adventure activities. But Alula's biggest attraction is still waiting to be discovered. Because hidden in the middle of this desert is an ancient city that people often call Saudi Arabia's Petra. Hegra, Saudi Arabia's lost city. This is Hegra, a 2,000-year-old city, also known as Madain Saleh. Around the 1st century BC, the Nabatean civilization carved more than 100 massive tombs into the mountains here. The most astonishing part is that there were no modern machines or advanced technology at the time. Yet every doorway, every window, and every carving was crafted with such incredible precision that even today, people are left amazed when they see them. That is why Hegra was declared Saudi Arabia's first UNESCO World Heritage Site. When you explore this place, all you can see around you are massive rock formations. But as you move forward, suddenly, doors and tombs carved directly into the stone begin to appear among these rocks. It feels as if the entire city has been waiting for someone for thousands of years. Elephant Rock. If you visit Alula and Hegra, you should definitely see Elephant Rock. Standing around 50 meters tall, this massive rock formation looks remarkably like a standing elephant. The most interesting part is that it was not created by humans. Over millions of years, winds and rain gradually shaped this sandstone rock into its current form, so much so that anyone seeing it for the first time would probably say, "Wait, that's an elephant." The atmosphere here becomes completely different in the evening. As the sun sets, the entire rock begins to glow in golden hues. Down in the open desert, people sit and enjoy Arabic coffee, children play, and as night falls, the sky fills with millions of stars. Because it is far away from the city lights, stargazing here is also considered an incredible experience. Jeddah, gateway to the Red Sea. Let's now continue our journey towards Saudi Arabia's second largest city, Jeddah. It is completely different from the capital, Riyadh. The people here are known for their culture and relaxed lifestyle. As evening arrives, thousands of people can be seen walking along the Jeddah Corniche. Some are cycling, some are sitting by the sea with their families, while others are enjoying the view of the setting sun over the Red Sea from an open-air cafe. This is also where you'll find the King Fahd Fountain, considered the tallest fountain in the world. Its water jet rises to a height of more than 300 meters. And at night, the view becomes even more spectacular with the lights. But Jeddah is not just a modern city. The historic district of Al Balad, which is hundreds of years old, is still alive with its traditional identity. Narrow streets, old houses made of coral stone, beautiful wooden balconies, and small local markets make you feel as if you've traveled back in time while exploring this area. Asir Mountains, Saudi Arabia's biggest surprise. If there is one place in the world that can completely change your perception of Saudi Arabia, this is it. Because in the southwest of the very country that people know only for its deserts, you'll find the Asir Mountains. The moment you arrive here, the landscape changes completely. Green valleys stretching into the distance, winding mountain roads, terraced fields, cool air, and small mountain villages. For a few minutes, it's hard to believe that you are standing in the same Saudi Arabia where, just a few hours earlier, you could see nothing but sand. This region is also quite popular among adventure lovers. People come here for hiking, enjoy cable car rides, spend hours admiring the valleys from viewpoints, and during the rainy season, the entire landscape looks like a postcard. Along the way, you'll often find baboons casually sitting by the roadside, and seeing them will definitely make you want to stop your car. Rijal Al Ma, the colorful village. This small mountain village, Rijal Al Ma, is located in Saudi Arabia's Asir province. The multi-story stone houses built here look like ancient fortresses from a distance. Their windows and interior walls are decorated with colorful traditional patterns, giving each house the appearance of an art gallery. As you walk through the narrow streets of Rijal Al Ma, you'll come across small cafes, local markets, and people selling handmade traditional crafts. The air here still carries that old Arabian charm. As evening arrives, the setting sun behind the mountains casts its light over the stone houses, making the entire village glow in golden hues. And every year, millions of photographers from around the world visit this village to capture its beauty. Rub Al Khali, the endless desert. A few hours of travel from the village of Rijal Al Ma, and suddenly a sea of sand begins in front of you, stretching so far that perhaps even your eyes cannot see the other side. Welcome to Rub Al Khali, also known as the Empty Quarter. It is the world's largest continuous sand desert, spanning around 650,000 square kilometers. This region is so vast that in many parts, human population is still almost non-existent. The sand dunes here can reach heights of up to 250 meters in some places. During the day, temperatures can rise to around 50 degrees Celsius, while by night, the weather changes completely. Strong winds create new patterns in the sand every day, so the landscape here never looks exactly the same. If you enjoy desert safaris, it would be hard to find a better destination anywhere in the world. Huge 4x4 SUVs race over the towering sand dunes like a roller coaster. And at night, when the lights of the cities are hundreds of kilometers away, the sky above reveals a breathtaking blanket of stars, making you completely lose track of time. Al Ahsa oasis, life in the desert. You must have tasted Saudi Arabia's delicious dates. But do you know that these dates actually grow in the desert? Yes. And this is Saudi Arabia's Al-Ahsa oasis. Considered one of the largest oases in the world, this region is home to more than 2.5 million date palm trees. Thanks to hundreds of natural springs and underground water sources, people have been farming here for centuries. Outside, hot desert winds continue to blow. But the moment you step inside the oasis, the entire atmosphere changes. Early in the morning, farmers can be seen working in the date palm plantations. Children play along small canals, fresh dates are sold in local markets, and camels can still be seen calmly walking along old dirt paths. That's why dates are called desert gold here. Not just because they provide an income, but because for centuries they have supported life in the desert. Mecca, the heart of Islam. If there is one city in the world that millions of people dream of visiting, it is Mecca. This is the holy city where Islam was born and where Masjid al-Haram, the largest mosque in the world, is located. At its center stands the Kaaba, toward which Muslims around the world turn 5 times a day while offering their prayers. Every year, during Hajj and Umrah, millions of pilgrims arrive here from almost every corner of the world. Some come here for the first time, while others spend their entire life savings just to make this journey. People from different languages, different countries, and different cultures come together, but they all share the same purpose. This is the moment when a person's identity is defined not by their country, language, or skin color, but by their faith. Mecca is not open to non-Muslims. That is why most people around the world can only see this city through photographs or videos. But whether someone visits it or not, Mecca will always hold the highest place of importance for the entire Islamic world. Medina, the city of peace. Located around 450 kilometers from Mecca is Medina. If Mecca is the heart of Islam, then Medina is its soul. This is where Prophet Muhammad lived after the Hegra, and where Al-Masjid an-Nabawi stands today, considered one of the most beautiful mosques in the world. Its most recognizable feature is its green dome, which Muslims around the world can identify from a distance. There is a constant flow of pilgrims throughout the day, yet Medina still feels incredibly peaceful. At prayer time, the entire mosque bows together in prostration, and the sight of that moment is difficult to put into words. Perhaps that is why people who visit often say that Medina is not just a place you see, but a place you feel. The people of Saudi Arabia. If you really want to understand Saudi Arabia, you need to meet its people, not just explore its buildings or deserts. One thing that most first-time visitors immediately notice is the hospitality. If you become a guest at a Bedouin camp or a local family's home, the first things you'll likely be offered are Arabic coffee and dates. This is not just hospitality, it is a centuries-old tradition. As evening arrives, cafes in the major cities begin to fill up. Families sit together and enjoy meals, children play in parks late into the night, and friends can be seen spending hours talking. Football is the most popular sport here, but traditions such as falconry, camel racing, and horse riding are still practiced with just as much pride. However, over the past few years, the lifestyle here has also been changing rapidly. Concerts, international events, Formula One, boxing matches, and entertainment festivals have now become part of Saudi Arabia. Not only that, the country is also making major investments in the esports industry, with the goal of creating an international hub for gaming and esports. But despite all these changes, family, tradition, and religion remain the most important parts of people's everyday lives. And if there is one thing that could be called a symbol of Saudi Arabia, it would probably be the date. Because here, dates are not just a fruit, but have been a part of the culture, hospitality, and desert life for centuries. Black gold of Saudi Arabia, the glass skyscrapers, mega projects, and some of the most modern infrastructure we see in Saudi Arabia today all began with a discovery that changed the destiny of this country forever. In 1938, oil was discovered in Dammam, in the eastern part of Saudi Arabia. In the beginning, hardly anyone could have imagined that this black liquid hidden beneath the ground would completely transform the country in the years to come. But over the following decades, oil production grew rapidly, and Saudi Arabia became one of the world's largest oil producers. Gradually, new cities began to emerge, wide roads were built, and airports, universities, and hospitals were constructed. A country once known mainly for its deserts and camels became one of the world's most powerful economies. Even today, Saudi Arabia has one of the largest oil reserves in the world, and for decades, oil remained the country's greatest source of strength. But Saudi Arabia realized one thing very early on. If the entire future depended only on oil, there could be challenges one day. So, the country decided that it was time to transform its greatest strength into a new future. Vision 2030. Building the future. If there is one thing that is changing Saudi Arabia faster than anything else today, it is Saudi Vision 2030. This is not just a government project, but a plan to transform the future of the entire country. Its purpose is clear: to move Saudi Arabia beyond an oil-based economy and turn it into a global hub for tourism, technology, artificial intelligence, entertainment, sports, and innovation. As part of this vision, NEOM is being developed, which is now being discussed around the world. Under this project, the Saudi government is building the Line, a futuristic city where there will be no traditional roads. Most travel will be through high-speed transportation, and the city is being designed so that most daily needs are just a few minutes away. In addition, the Red Sea project, Jeddah Entertainment City, and several other mega projects that are among the world's largest modern developments are also part of this vision. Today, major technology companies, luxury brands, and international events from around the world are increasingly coming to Saudi Arabia. From Formula One to the FIFA World Cup 2034, the country continues to attract global attention. It is clear that Saudi Arabia is not simply changing, but preparing to become the new identity of the Middle East in the decades to come. So friends, that's all for today. Now tell us in the comments, which part of Saudi Arabia did you like the most? Have you ever visited Mecca, Medina, or any other city in Saudi Arabia? And which country do you live in? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and share it and help us reach 21,000 likes. And for more interesting videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell. Thank you.